What up, Dokkaners? So I wanted to talk about this ominous little news update that we got a couple of days ago in our games. Didn't get a chance to discuss it because I was busy trying to catch up on everything. But this is not something that we normally get. In fact, we don't get this all too often. I think the last time we got something even remotely similar to this was 4 years ago-ish, when we had the whole like safety net thing. And back then there was a lot of doom and gloom thinking that emulators were gone and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and read through this and we're gonna discuss what this could potentially mean. It's hard to say for sure because there's a lot of like corporate lingo in here. So it's meant to be vague while at the same time still specific enough where in retrospect, like if you're like, oh wait, it did say this? Okay, I guess it kind of makes sense. You know, like it's very carefully worded. So we're gonna just go ahead and read this first and then we'll talk about it. But TLDR, I will say, I think this could mean the end of auto clickers. I think that's one thing that I think I can take away from this. Important notice regarding devices used to run the application. Dear players, thank you for your support. To ensure the best possible gaming experience, this application is not supported on devices or operating systems that do not meet our recommended specifications. If you are using a device that matches any of the conditions listed below, you may be unable to log into the game. Even if you become unable to log in due to using a device that matches one of the following conditions, you can still transfer your data to a recommended device or a device running a recommended operating system as long as your account is linked beforehand. So before we even talk about the ineligibility stuff, they are giving you an out because they want everyone to be able to still continue to play the game on normal devices. So when I see that, this is telling me that there's going to be an update coming soon. That update is likely going to be happening right before GDC, which makes sense because we do have a version update that's coming up during the countdown week because they have to give us the Battlefield team builder optimization update and the UI like user interface adjustment, right? So probably with that, they'll also drop in some security changes or whatever for the device. Who knows? Because with GDC coming up, this is going to be the biggest celebration of the year. They could be finally doing something to make the game run more efficiently. I don't know. Okay. Ineligible devices. Devices that have been rooted or jailbroken, i.e. had their operating system restrictions removed. Now, I am technologically challenged severely, so I don't know exactly what this means, but from my understanding, one aspect of this is like, if you're traveling and you jailbreak a device, that helps bypass any region lock issues or circumvents any like specific restrictions when using certain applications or whatever in whatever country. So while Dokkan itself might be legit, if it's being housed on a device that is rooted or jailbroken, that's an issue. Devices using external tools or unauthorized software. This is where I was thinking of auto clicker. Auto clicker might not necessarily be an unauthorized software, but to my understanding, Android has a very good auto clicker that you can use to link level. Now, I have never used it because I'm on iOS, and there is no safe auto clicker on iOS to my understanding. But this kind of sucks. I will just say, personally, auto clickers never bothered me. As long as it doesn't affect my experience, you can do whatever the heck you want. Like if you want to link level and max out all your links, that's great for you. That doesn't affect me. And if you want to do it quickly and efficiently with auto clickers, do it. I would have done it, but I can't. So if you want to, I'd never had an issue with that, but this might be their finally like taking a stance against it. I don't know. It could also just be like an overlying term for like any, maybe private servers too. Like that's an external tool. Devices with significantly incorrect date and time settings. When I think of this, I think of the like speed battle trick that people would use to change their internal clock settings just so that they can make the time for the like time missions. Significantly incorrect date and time settings. I don't know if that's something to do with like accounts, account transfers or anything like that. But yeah, so if any of these things apply to you, be warned. Furthermore, measures such as account suspension may be applied to players confirmed to have engaged in unauthorized activities, including the use of unauthorized software and modification of game data. We ask for your understanding and cooperation. Okay. Examples of unauthorized activities. Using external tools or unauthorized software. Thank you. That's very specific. You didn't mention that before. Okay. Modifying game data to gain an unfair advantage in gameplay. So this one, the only thing that I could think of is, again, the time attack thing, where like you want to change your time so that you clear it faster. But is this private server stuff? Because you're modifying the game data. I mean, gaining an unfair advantage, does it even qualify as an unfair advantage if it's a PvE thing? Like if it's World Tournament, I understand. But if it's just like PvE thing, I don't know. Like Million Arena, definitely mods. There were mods. Like you even saw in the Million Arena results, they tweeted out, they had the gall to tweet out the top 30 scores, and they were all modded accounts. And I was especially pissed off about this because I spent so much time getting the perfect rotation and the perfect execution of like moves to get a top score, and I did. I should have been in the top 30, but I wasn't because all these piece of shit mods cheated me out of top 30. That's the one thing I didn't like. You can use private servers all you want. I have no problem with that. You can play the game however you want as long as it doesn't affect other people. Million Arena, that's a problem. World Tournament, that's a problem. I was pissed. Buying or selling or transferring accounts. Now, we've seen this a couple of times where they've kind of like taken a stance against this. I don't know if this is the final nail in the coffin. You know, some people might not take this too seriously, which is fine. I'm just reading and kind of going through it. We've had a couple of buying, selling account apocalypses before, right? And I think Legends even went as far as to ban people who did that. Is this, I mean, what is the state of account selling these days? Is that even a thing anymore? I don't hear about it anymore. Conducting fraudulent or unauthorized purchases. I don't know what that means, but okay. Any other actions that violate laws, regulations, or our terms of service. Ain't nobody reading the terms of service, buddy, but okay. So it's kind of vague, like I said, but it's still specific enough where it covers what it needs to cover. So anything shady, be warned. That's basically what they're saying. When an account is subject to disciplinary action, if an unauthorized activity is a violation of the terms of service is confirmed, actions such as account suspension will be taken. Once an account is suspended, the user will no longer be able to log in and play. Please check terms of service and enjoy the game while following the rules. Regarding account transfers, even if an account was acquired through a transfer from another player, requests for account recovery or other related requests cannot be accepted if the account is already been suspended. Therefore, please refrain from transferring accounts. Please note that the operation team cannot be held liable for any disputes between players arising from account transfers. We do not guarantee application performance when using functions or tools outside of the application. In the event that an operation issues occur as a result of such use, please understand that customer support will be unable to provide assistance. So all of that to basically say, if you are using external tools, or you have a jailbroken device, or you have messed up system settings, be careful. What exactly they're going to do remains to be seen, like to what extent. What is this being done for? Could they be implementing some sort of like massive new update that actually follows through with their original threat? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? It's up to you to decide if it's worth, exploring alternatives. It's up to you to decide whether you want to take this seriously. Because a couple of years ago, we had a similar sort of thing happen with Safety Net. Let me see if we can actually find that. So this is the whole like Safety Net scare back in 2020. With Dokkan's recent update 4.12.0, they did a number of things in an attempt to stop people from changing the way that they play Dokkan. Safety Net, SSL, certification pinning, encryption key for quests, blah, 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 blah. It was a whole thing, right? I'm not going to go into all this, but it was a whole thing, and people were scared that emulators were getting banned, BlueStacks was getting banned, all this stuff, and none of it didn't amount to anything, I don't think. Like, I think some steps were taken, but it didn't actually do anything. So could this all be, a similar sort of situation where it could happen, but it ultimately doesn't? Maybe, maybe not. It's up to you whether you want to take that seriously or if you want to, So that's basically the point of that. Now, I don't know much more, so I'm going to go ahead and read some comments made by some people who actually know what the heck they're talking about. So let's switch over to Twitter. I'm going to put my face up here to cover up all the depression. If there's any bad words, I do apologize because I can't exactly censor everything in real time. If this pushes the level of verification to device, like on JP, then this is basically them saying you can't use emulators for global Dokkan anymore. Okay. So Proton is thinking this could be the end of emulators. My gut reaction was end of auto clickers. Okay. Then we have Rick, another data head, talking about this. Might be us preparing for possible security changes with the version update on the 21st. Might be. Did JP Dokkan even have the same kind of announcement? If not, I can see them just being global, catching up to JP in terms of security. Don't think JP posted anything today, but this does seem very similar to the announcement posted by JP some time ago. Can't look for it now. The timing is interesting. Exactly 2 weeks before we're supposed to get a version update. I didn't even realize. I guess it should be pointed out. Yeah, JP never got this announcement. I'm looking at the JP news versus the global news. Only global got it. Fascinating. Ooh, we got a big reply from a big time Dokkan player, Nosaka. I don't know if this is related, but typically it was with that announcement and update that playing the JP version on an emulator became impossible. Ooh. So this was the announcement for JP. Thank you for using Dokkan. This was June 6, 2021. Please note that the operation on devices other than the recommended models and OS versions are not supported. If you are using one of the following devices, you may not be able to log into the game. Devices that have been rooted or jailbroken, meaning operating system has been removed. Devices that use external tools or malicious programs. Devices with significantly incorrect time settings. Even if you're unable to log into the app due to using such devices, you can transfer your data to a recommended device. Dude, yeah, this is like beat for beat what they talked about in here. Oh my. Oh my. Couple more responses here. What about auto clickers? No idea, wouldn't risk it. Darkrest, another big data head in the Dokkan community. JP isn't on device anymore. Since the 11th anniversary celebration, basic tokens are enough. You can still use emulators if they require device tokens, but you'll need a different setup, including having at least Android 10. I know we talked about it. Regardless, if it pushes the same level as JP, then emulators will be out. Most emulator users just use it out of the box. Will private servers be dead? No, they'll be fine. Okay, so my stupid brain takes all this and thinks it's not about private servers. It's not about auto clicking per se. It's just about all the cheating stuff, I guess. But because of how vague it is and because of how broad it is, I think it's just meant to kind of be a catch-all where it just covers everything. So you know, users beware. Risk at your own risk, right? Use at your own risk, whatever. So yeah. I think that my main takeaway from this is the fact that JP had the same beat for beat announcement like 5 years ago. This could be where we're going with Dokkan. What if this is all like a setup for an eventual like Dokkan PC application? Maybe that's why they're doing all this. They want to clean up the game so that when they implement, or if they were to implement like some sort of a PC setup, then it would be a clean transition. I don't know. Anyway, this 13+ minute video was just meant to get you guys aware about this. If you are using anything shady, just be aware of incoming updates and stuff like that. And if you are using Dokkan on jailbroken or rooted devices, then maybe move it on to something a little bit more clean. Mirroring software, I don't think is an issue, by the way, for anyone curious about that, because I use a mirroring software so I can stream my Dokkan device onto the computer on a like legitimate application and stuff. So that's not, I don't think that's an issue at all. It's just about like the more shady stuff. So anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Leave in the comments your thoughts, your theories, your own take on this whole discussion, because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. What do you think? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you're going to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.